All good. Where the fuck is the lighter, babe? Lighter. I have 13,000 things in front of me, and the lighter is not one of them.
You're working that Mankind gimmick.
Uncle Paul.
If we can turn back the clock of time, if we can rotate it back almost 20 years ago,
what a real Donnybrook that's going to be. Nicely executed and down to the canvas. Here comes, all hell's going to break loose now. Anything moves here. Too much sun and not enough sky. What am I thorn in your heart?
And welcome to another edition of the Atomic Dropcast, your weekly knee to the ass bone for your ear holes. I'm Brian, and alongside my co-host, Mikey.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. What we're doing here is we're taking a look back at the wrestling from our childhood from a new perspective as adults. We're recapping the action, and we're giving you guys another look at the wrestling and the angles from yesteryear.
And this week is Monday Night Raw number 206. Broadcasted live April 21st, 1997.
And we're coming from Binghamton, New York at the Broome County Arena. 3,846 people have packed into this little place. And we are here once again, every Raw, every pay-per-view, every week, folks.
It's funny enough that they're in Broome County because at this point in time, the tables are about to turn, but WCW is still sweeping up the competition.
They sure are. We've only got a 2.8 rating here on Raw.
Ooh, now compared to today, that's a great rating.
It certainly is.
That's fantastic. But in 1997, that was a shit rating.
Yeah, especially compared to 1998 and where it's going to explode. And we're talking about 6s and 7s and so on and so forth.
I thought he was called X-Pac when he came back.
We'll get there, folks. We'll get there.
That's why you tune in, folks. The hilarity.
That's right. Brian, how are you?
Not too bad, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm drinking and thinking. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Drinking, trying not to be thinking.
That's right. There it is.
Watching this show helped.
It sure did. No, I didn't think this one was that bad, but we'll get into it as we go along. It was more entertaining than most of what we've seen lately.
100%. I hope this is a real turning point.
That's for sure.
Because we're drinking, trying not to be thinking, and we've watched some real stinking up until now.
Between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, it was all right, and then it just kind of fell off the face of the planet the last few weeks.
Oh, man, we started so hot.
That must be it. Let's get right into the show. This week, we're going to cut back before the opening video to In Your House, only one night before this Raw, where we catch The Undertaker burning Paul Bearer. And in this rendition, he nails it on the first attempt. Whereas everyone else saw at In Your House, Revenge of the Taker.
It was Revenge of the Lighter.
Homeboy couldn't get it started. Mankind couldn't get it started. Paul couldn't get it started. The Fire Marshal couldn't get it started. It was unreal. So no, we see the quick little video of In Your House.
Very short, right? For like a show opening recap, like super short.
That's right. And Paul Bearer gets lit up, and then we cut right into the Raw opening video. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out to start the show. He's in his jeans and his Austin 316 shirt, tucked in oh so gently.
Which, then I don't know if I questioned it, but now I look at him like, oh, that's a real dad move.
It really is, but in 1997, it was probably like the thing to do.
Hell, even the NWO tucked their shirts in. It was weird.
Yeah. So we got Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler on commentary to start. Vince is in the ring to interview Austin. And we find out that Bret versus Austin will happen tonight in a street fight. And on May 11th, at the next pay-per-view, the next In Your House, we're going to see Austin versus The Undertaker for the WWF title.
If this was a movie, it would be incredibly exposition heavy right up front. They're giving us a bunch of information that we had no way of knowing before now.
That's right. By the way, here's everything that's going to happen in the next 4 weeks.
Yes.
Write it down because we're going to build around it. You just need to know what's happening.
We need you to know it because we'll find out later. Austin don't know it. He doesn't even know what city they're going to be in or state.
So we cut into the Austin promo. The first thing I want you to do is shut your hole.
His stinking hole.
Is it stinking hole? Yeah.
So.
He says, I don't want to talk about the pay-per-view. I want to talk about Bret Hart. I beat Bret Hart last night, but Bulldog and Owen saved him. He says, I don't want to wrestle you, Bret. I want you to come out here. I want you in a street fight. You got 1 minute to get down here.
I want you to come out here because I want a street fight in this ring right now.
In a street fight ring match.
Because the WWF cannot grasp the street part of a street fight.
Just call it a no DQ match or so. I don't know. I just want you just say I want you in a fight.
Yeah, right. Like just no holds barred. They like that term.
Yep. So Austin gives him 1 minute to get out here. He checks his invisible watch like he did the Royal Rumble.
Great thing they had that Royal Rumble timer handy.
Yeah, they sure did. That popped up on screen with about 30 seconds to go. And so obviously it goes down 1 minute. Bret Hart does not come out. And Stone Cold says, I know damn well you didn't have the guts to show up, so I'll come get you. And he heads up the ramp, onward and upward. Bret shows up on the Tron just as he steps out of the ring. Owen and Bulldog by his side. And Bret accepts the street fight, trashes the American fans for having no ethics and family values.
And being a pack of hyenas.
Hyenas.
He can't get off the hyena shit. This is the second time he's been on that hyena nonsense.
Hey, hyenas were hot in 97, man. This is like Lion King era.
Bret's a big Whoopi Goldberg fan. Little known fact, folks.
So Bret says after tonight, Austin's going to hell. And Austin says, well, if I'm going to hell, then I'm taking you with me.
So, if I'm going straight to hell, you're damn sure coming with me.
There it is. Awesome. So, yeah. And then Austin runs out of the ring, presumably after Bret. Really good stuff. I enjoyed this part a lot.
Yeah, it was great. I still felt that Bret talked a little longer than he should have, but Austin really pulls it back in the end.
Yep.
One of my favorite parts of this is not only does Austin check his invisible watch, he goes back to Vince, grabs him by the wrist, picks his arm up, and looks at his watch. It's fantastic stuff. And then, of course, once that timer comes up and it's ticking down, as we all know, wrestling fans love to count.
Yes, they do.
We're down to about 10 seconds, and we are waiting. Where is he? He's here. I saw him earlier. Bret is here.
The only thing I can think watching that is, man, Sesame.
Sesame.
The only thing I can think is that goddamn Big Bird show must be super over with wrestling fans. See, now I got to keep all the.
Now you got to keep it all. Yeah,
keep all the false finishes on Sesame Street.
We're gonna put out a shirt, folks. Sesame Street is coming up.
And
It's the word of the day is Sid.
Oh man, I can't wait till the end because there's more Sid coming.
Oh man, and I got some Sid stuff in the rumor mill too, so it's gonna be a great show.
Oh man, it's raw as Sid.
Without Sid at all.
Yeah, sudden infant death syndrome.
We're probably the only people that ever laughed at that.
I think we've made that joke before and I cut it out.
Oh, there you go. So before the commercial break, we do find out we're going to see Ahmed Johnson versus the Sultan tonight. Get hyped for that. Not only that, but we're going to see Ken Shamrock is going to challenge Mike Tyson tonight. What? Can you believe it?
You know you're a real prick, though, right?
What? What's the matter?
You're a real prick. Gets hit me with all the disgusting pictures.
Oh, no, but if you don't want to comment on it, don't.
I
mean,
will
I'm just
comment on it, but you're a prick.
No, what? No.
Oh, one more thing. Vader held hostage day 9 in Kuwait.
I'm locked up. They won't let me out. Oh, no.
Oh, man. So we find out Undertaker versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to happen as well tonight. Vince McMahon joins the commentary table, sits down at the end next to Jim Ross, who is in the middle at this point. Cutting to backstage, we see Stone Cold Steve Austin looking for Bret Hart, kicking things, throwing things, knocking on doors. All the shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Coming back from commercial, Bret Hart is pacing in his locker room, and that's it. We cut to the ring.
Well, I mean, Bret does what he's good at.
Pacing himself. Then we cut to the ring where the Sultan is on his way. So not only did we find out that Ahmed versus the Sultan will be tonight, it's actually next.
Right now.
From the Middle East. They don't even give him a country. He's just from a region.
just from the entire Middle East.
Most people are from a city in a state. The Sultan's from somewhere over there in between those 6 countries.
Somewhere where there's oil.
Yeah. Somewhere where there's sultans.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere where there are magic carpets.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid.
Ahmed Johnson music hits, and he comes out next, and that's where we get the Great King line. Africa as a nation may love Ahmed. I don't know if Jerry the King Lawler understands that there's more than one country in Africa.
Well, Vince also goes on, either before or right after that, like goes on a tangent that is super problematic to today's standards, saying that in the same nation stance, Ahmed galvanized the nation, and basically goes on to say that he's brought South Africa together better than even Nelson Mandela could. Are you fucking serious, Vince?
Yeah. A little over the top.
Oh, man. Hey, yo, can you imagine if something like that was said today?
Yeah, there would be protests immediately.
He would need to bring back Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Mason.
That one too. He would need to bring back Clarence Mason to defend him at the Supreme Court against Clarence Thomas.
I like it. So, as far as this match goes, Ahmed versus the Sultan, not bad for an Ahmed match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's got Rikishi in it.
Pretty, and the crowd was already prepped.
Yeah.
The later Bret stuff, so they were already like just randomly chanting USA against the Sultan.
Well, he's not from America. He's from the Middle East.
That's right. He's from some undescript place, either left or right of the Euphrates.
So in the meantime, they'll just chant USA at him. I get it. I mean, I get it. But is there a worse chant in all of wrestling?
You deserve it.
That's a bad one.
Because it gets used way too often these days.
And holy shit.
And this is awesome. Sometimes it's not.
Guys, I love all of you that listen, but please stop chanting at wrestling shows.
And stop counting.
No, I do that. I do that one. 1, 2, 2.
You know what? I find it a little annoying when I'm watching a show, but a pinfall I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Stop with the fucking top rope punches count.
Oh, gotcha.
They shouldn't be doing that spot. Don't encourage them.
Folks, Ahmed Johnson is back in action this week here on the Atomic Dropcast, so you know what that means. Wedgie Watch 2018.
Bam, bam.
Rikishi bends over Ahmed for a pile driver, and we get the full fucking view, folks. If you ever wanted to see butthole and nutsack in the same photo, this is the move for you.
Can you imagine the irony? The irony. The Rikishi is the one in there causing the wedgie.
Yeah, he's the one making the thong. Amazing.
I'm convinced this is where he got that gimmick idea for. Later.
It got so over.
He's like, Ahmed was terrible. They pushed him to the moon, and the only thing I could see he was doing in the ring was he had his tights up his ass.
And it worked for Rikishi too.
he's like, fuck it. Let's just cut this thing into a thong and go.
I like it.
You're working that Mankind gimmick.
Uncle Paul.
Can't get the lighter to work because you can't find it.
Man, this shit is nowhere to be found. I got it. Under the bed. Oh.
That took about as long as that In Your House finish.
So finally, Rikishi the Sultan gets him up for the pile driver, drops him on his head, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't pay that much attention to this match. Mostly because this match means nothing.
What?
I mean, it means abject shit. But I do like the Sultan, and he was able to get something half decent out of Ahmed. Although I will say Ahmed's been doing a little better lately.
Yeah.
Which we know means he'll just get hurt in a few weeks.
That's right. So Ahmed hits a spine buster, and about the exact same time, we get.
We are the nation of domination.
Get it, JC Ice. Farouk and the Nation show up at the top of the ramp, ready to fucking fight. Ahmed goes outside, tells him to come on down. Sultan attacks him from behind, runs him into the ring post, and then Ahmed pulls a 2x4 out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
He pulls it out from under the ring, but he pulls it out from nowhere.
Ahmed has 2x4s in different area codes.
I've got foes. I've got foes. Oh, that's awesome. Under a different ring posts. No.
Everybody, just stay tuned and keep listening. Let's get these numbers up, likes and all that. And who knows, man? I got a full-fledged studio in here. You might get
the Atomic Dropcast album.
Yeah, the Atomic Dropcast super sweet remix album.
Maybe someday. So once Ahmed pulls this 2x4 out of nowhere, he threatens the Nation, so they back up the ramp, and he hits a Sultan with it for the disqualification. So that's heel move number 1.
Could he be charged with a Sultan?
A Sultan battery? Only here, folks.
I'm really proud of that one because that wasn't in my notes.
No, so let's... that's awesome.
That just happened.
That just happened. So let's count the heel moves that Ahmed does in this match. You ready? Heel count number 1. Cold entrance. Embraces no fans. Doesn't acknowledge them. Walks straight to the ring like he's got serious beef with Homeboy. Heel move number 2. Hidden weapon under the ring. Heel move number 3. Uses weapon without provocation.
None.
Heel count number 4. Post-match attack with the same fucking weapon after the match is over and the referee's telling him to stop. What the hell? Ahmed just turned heel.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume their only reasoning would be, well, but, Sultan's a heel and it's a heel bearing him down, whatever. Like this.
No, it's bullshit.
It doesn't
It's
work.
bad.
It doesn't
It's
work.
a bad finish. Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Well,
I'm glad we agree. We're so excited we can't even fucking not talk over each other.
Really stumbling over each other's work. Like, it sucks. It's bad.
We're pulling a Sid on the podcast, folks.
Sid wrote this.
Syntax Mikey and Softball Brian here.
Take it home.
So no, eventually this finishes bullshit, but the Nation stay up where they're at. They don't want to come down and fuck with Ahmed with the 2x4.
Well, I mean, Farouk's got that injured wig. So
Yeah, he's in the brace still, or the sling. Sorry.
So yeah, and this, like I mentioned earlier, this match was for nothing. It's clearly fodder for the whole Ahmed versus the Nation deal. That's all they did was sell that during this. And
Yep.
but we've recognized, before now, we know that is what WWF television still is right now. It's still
no doubt.
a commercial for the pay-per-view. They haven't quite grasped yet that you can make the money off of the commercials and the advertising, and then the hell with the pay-per-view. But and as you've reminded me before, of course, they also don't have Billionaire Ted, so that's a thing.
Exactly. What we do get next is Austin pacing back and forth before the commercial break. He's still looking for Bret in, like a 4x8 area. Next, we cut to a Castrol GTX commercial. Folks, they are still in business.
Super all-wheel cleaner. I clean my wheels with it to this day.
Do you?
No.
Oh. I thought we were getting some more advertising, more free advertising here 20 years later.
I mean, I know Castrol still has oil. I don't know they have all-wheel cleaner, but I'm sure they do.
Yeah, probably. At least in New York.
And Binghamton.
So finally we see Austin has found the Hart Foundation locker room.
Which, how the fuck did he miss it? It's a pink sign that says Hart Foundation.
Yeah, it matches his tights.
Good God. If you'd have stopped pacing in a 4x4 area.
Yeah, you would have found it. Austin grabs a steel chair and tries to beat the door in with it, but can't break it down. That's when the camera cuts to the inside, and we see Bret Hart totally cool and calm. He's with Pat Patterson and a litany of other backstage workers. He says, I thought I've earned more respect than this. I'm going to give him what he wants. Just send him to the ring. Get him out of here.
It's super lucky for us that they had a camera inside.
Oh, what a coincidence. And why Bret is with like 6 old guys, I don't know. Back to ringside, Vince has moved to the middle of the booth. He's kicked JR out to the end. And on the outside is Ken Shamrock. Because if anyone should have a headset and a microphone, it's it's old Shamrock Shake here.
I don't recognize this, but what I pulled up was musical chairs music. But I guess that can be any music, so my bad, folks.
So Ken Shamrock, it's announced that we'll see Ken Shamrock in his first WWF match, wrestling match, against Vader on May 11th on pay-per-view.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
I love that fucking theme.
It's a solid theme.
It's a banger. So we find out they're going to face on May 11th. That is if Vader can get out of Kuwait.
Hey, in Kuwaiti jail, shoveling camel poop.
That's right. This is where we cut to a montage of the Kuwaiti Cup that Tiger Ali Singh won. They show a clip of Vader assaulting, aka grabbing this guy by the tie. And that's why he's detained. We'll find out his fate this Wednesday when he goes to court.
Which doesn't, I mean, I didn't know, but I don't remember this. I remember a lot of this show as it was going on. I'm like, oh, this and that. Like, okay, it's all making sense. Like, it's all coming together. Where I've remembered way less of shows up until this one. Like, I could only just telegraph easy shit that was coming up. Like, I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. Like, I remembered it. I don't remember the Vader deal at all. I must have changed the channel to Nitro or something. But watching it now, doesn't this feel like the Davis Schultz John Stussel thing?
Kind of, but this was legit.
Where it really was.
Yes, this was when I was just getting like super into wrestling. I had discovered it about a year before, and I was just like diving in. So I was reading WWF the magazine. I was doing beginnings of the internet and all that stuff. And I was reading up on this, and it was in the fucking newspaper.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the old Leon is said to be such a nice guy. He's been painted as quite the emotional fella.
Yes. Well, the guy questioned whether wrestling was real, and he did what any veteran would have done.
Well, except
The Undertaker.
yes, in that clip, the Undertaker's sitting there and does not budge.
Nope. Doesn't even pop for Vader.
Even when Vader says, "Come on down," and after I whoop his ass and points to the Undertaker, then I whoop your ass. He does nothing. Like, I feel like I was kind of hyped for this moment, only because I'm pretty sure this is legit the first time I'd ever seen that clip in my life.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny that would get you jailed in Kuwait.
Well, but I mean, it's Kuwait, like it's Islam, it's like
no doubt.
They you got all kind of crazy reasons for
it very well may be where the Sultan is from, but we're not sure.
It's either Kuwait or Saudi Arabia
or Egypt or Iran or Iraq.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you...
The biggest thing, though, other than the David Schultz, John Stussel thing, which anyone who's never seen that, go watch it.
That's awesome.
The biggest thing I pulled out of this is Jerry the King Lawler has always been pretty funny. JR accuses him of using a joke book quite often, but he's always been pretty funny. I mean, like in like a hacky, like a ha like.
I think he's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic for his role as a heel color commentator. But he takes this moment to all of a sudden become Jerry the Carrot Top Lawler. He's a prop comic all of a sudden.
Yeah, he pulls out a drawing that Jerry Lawler is known for doing drawings, so I assume it is his.
Ah.
Yeah, he's well known for doing cartoons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, Google some of Jerry Lawler's drawings because they're a lot of fun.
Well, it's funny though. Like the drawing is funny. Funny enough. I mentioned it's shoveling camel poop. Which the problem with the drawing is the setup to showing that picture is way too long.
Yeah.
But what was hilarious is afterward, his next prop. He's got an action figure of Vader, and he's just drawn jail bars over the plastic shell.
This is how they're selling Vader dolls now.
Like that killed me. It would have, and honestly, it would have landed with me so much harder if it wasn't for the dumb drawing joke before. That being said, that little caricature style drawing was fantastic.
Oh, it was great. So then
I'll see if I can find it, or we'll screenshot it, and hopefully we'll post it up to the Facebook and the Instagram.
There you go. And we get Ken Shamrock finally talking, and he says, "There's one thing I don't like, and it's bullies. When I was a kid, I had a problem with bullies. When I was a teenager, I had problems with bullies. And now that I'm a man, I have problems with bullies.
Really? Like, people are still bullying you, son?
When I'm old, I'm going to have problems with bullies. And when I'm dead, I'm probably going to have problems with bullies too." And then they address the rumor about Mike Tyson.
Rumors?
Ooh, we'll get there. Ken Shamrock challenges Mike Tyson, but he challenges him to a wrestling match in the WWF.
Yeah, that's right. Challenge a boxer.
Yeah.
To come wrestle fight you.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So, Mike Tyson, as far as I can turn, is a bully too.
As far as I can turn?
That's what he says.
Kenny, how far can you turn? Can you turn all the way around? Can you tip? Can you tip like a little teapot?
I may be a bully from here, but if you keep turning, I'm actually no.
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know.
more nerve-wracking for me to hear is talking to a rat piece of shit like you. Come on, Mike. No, because you're a piece of shit. All right, really, we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in. Fuck you.
We're going to cut to the Bret Hart Steve Austin street fight. We see Austin's entrance. He's wearing the same clothes as he was wearing earlier, even has his shirt tucked in still. That's profesh to death. All that throwing chairs, all that beating down doors, homeboy still tucked in.
That says I am 30 some odd, and you're going to know it.
That's right. I remember back in my 20s, they were wild. That was a couple weeks ago, folks.
So they come out of commercial. We get Raw's brought to you by an Evergreen product.
Evergreen.
Winter Fresh Gum. It's also brought to you by, it's a twofer. It's also brought to you by WWF Magazine. They show the cover of it. It's got Vader on it. And JR says, mentions Vader is on the cover and says it's available everywhere, even though Vader is not.
Yeah. I laughed at that one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, they're ribbing Vader even though he's fucking locked up.
He's in the Lord knows what fucking condition. Yeah, I mean, at this point, the American consulate is involved and shit. Like,
yeah, and here's JR cracking jokes.
They're just ribbing him on TV, but he's in fucking a squalor of a jail.
So apparently, while they were in commercial, Stone Cold Steve Austin had got on the commentary booth and acted like he was going to slap around Vince. It was pretty ridiculous. Bret takes his time getting to the ring. He's also wearing his street clothes.
Limping really hard.
Yeah, and he seems like he's trying to hide it later on.
Yep.
Bulldog and Owen attack Austin from behind right at the rip. So after the 3-on-1 beatdown, Shawn Michaels is out there to make the save with a steel chair. He swings and misses Bret. He ends up hitting Owen and then hitting Bulldog and knocking him out of the ring. He then chases Owen and Bulldog out of there through the crowd.
Which this can only lead, I hope.
It is.
To my favorite thing, which I hope holds up once I see it again.
Yeah, man. My favorite was Sid, too, before we started this fucking podcast. Now he's a running joke.
100%, but... my eggs are in the basket of two incredible performers. You know what I mean? So my hopes are high.
I've said it once. I'll say it again. If this podcast kills my love for D'Lo, we're shutting down the second I lose it. Folks, that'll be the last episode, the first terrible D'Lo match. Hope you're prepared.
So everybody look up. One night he paralyzes Dross, and
that's the end of the show.
We're done. I mean, a good run though.
No, Shawn Michaels makes the save, chases them out of there. It's now 1-on-1, but Bret Hart is in clear control after the beatdown. Bret hits a pile driver, hits a lot of quick big moves, and once it's just the two of them, he ends up putting a chair around the ankle and tries to jump from the top rope, but Austin moves and finally gets some leverage.
Yeah, pile driver, it looked good and clean, but just knowing what we're going to see at SummerSlam this year, it was like, fucking pile drivers, man.
Right, especially on Austin.
Yep.
Oh, he's already got one knee brace on. Then he's going to have a neck. Then he's going to have a neck brace. Then he's going to have another knee brace. And then he's going to... Oh, man. Thank you, Austin, for giving up your body.
Oh, man, like a motherfucker. And then... Surprisingly, though, I mean, not that he could go in the ring anymore, but it was only a few WrestleManias ago, maybe last WrestleMania. He was in there stunning Vince and Shane.
Yeah, I think it was a couple ago. He was doing I don't know, he was stunning somebody. I don't remember.
I ducked out of so many of them and then finally started trying to watch them past couple of years.
Now they're 6 hours long.
Yeah, they've made it really hard to watch.
Don't worry, folks. We won't make 6 hour long episodes, hopefully.
I don't foresee us ever having the time.
Yeah, so Austin, he has the chair that was in the ring at this point that Bret Hart had been using. Because this is a street fight, folks. There are no rules.
No rules. Anything goes in a street fight, JR tells us.
In the ring, that is. So Austin swings a chair from a prone position, actually. and hits Hart on the legs, much like he did the previous night at In Your House. He then attacks the legs again with the chair over and over. This is a legs versus legs match.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't remember or know really the timing of all of this, but I have to assume Bret's knee with that limp and then trying to hide it. That I have to assume Bret's got a legit knee injury right here, needs surgery, and this is just to get him off active duty. Basically.
Yeah, that's probably correct because I believe he starts doing the wheelchair gimmick from here on out.
I think so, and that either DX comes way sooner than I think, or the wheelchair gimmick lasts a long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I guess we'll see. There is one Bret Hart fan in the crowd. Did you see this guy?
I don't think so.
He's like only 2 rows in on the right hand side. Big guy. He's wearing a Bret Hart shirt. And every time Austin hits something, he's just like, boo! And he's like only one. It's so good.
Well, I didn't notice that, but I did notice. I mean, the Bret heel turn. I mean, it only took since fucking Royal Rumble for it to stick, but it's getting there because you're seeing Bret suck signs in the crowd and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
There's USA chants during this as well.
Clearly, the crowd is heavy Austin here.
Oh yeah.
So Austin locks in a sharpshooter on Bret. The referees can't break it. And they end up getting the finger from Austin, which is pretty good from the sharpshooter position. He holds it for about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, he's holding it for a while.
And then from this point, from the start to this point, this is all great.
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
It goes downhill from there.
Except for the Ahmed Johnson match, that is. Anyway, back.
Well, I meant this match, but yes, the entire card as well. He does 2 sharpshooters, right?
Does he?
Yeah, there's a sharpshooter, and it gets broken up. Bret ends up in the corner somehow, and he's stomping him, and Bret. I gotta give Bret credit when I can. Bret gives on his back. Bret gives Austin the double birds.
Yep, you're right.
Austin continues to stomp him, grabs him by the leg, drags him back out to the middle of the ring, and puts him in the sharpshooter for the second time. And right before he does, as Austin is stepping through his legs, getting ready to cross him, Bret flips him off again.
Yep.
It's very brief right before the turn. Now, I love the double birds in the corner. Oh, you know what? It's probably not 2 sharpshooters. I have second time. Second time is probably second time with the birds.
Gotcha.
First birds is great. Second birds, it's like, come on, you can flip him off, but you can't get yourself
break out of the hold.
Yeah, like before he locks it in.
Why don't you roll him over into a pin? Do something.
On top of it all, as we mentioned not that long ago, anything goes in a street fight except locking someone in their own hold, because that stops a match.
Yeah.
Multiple officials come out. They're trying to get Austin off, and the match is deemed a no contest. But hold on. I thought this motherfucker was a street fight.
Yeah. How did Austin not win? The other guy can't get up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And Bret doesn't do the Austin deal and pass out. Bret's still struggling. So why would you break the hold?
Yeah, he doesn't tap out.
It makes no sense. Like,
Austin won this match, theoretically.
I don't think they announced it as anything, but according to our favorite Germans, cagematch.de, it's a no contest.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear Howard Finkel here.
I didn't either. I mean, and I'm really attuned to him now. My ear is ready for him at all times. Like at the beginning of the show, first time I heard his voice, I popped for him a little bit.
The Fink.
just because of your asinine, dead on, but super asinine impersonation.
Yeah. So they do cut to commercial, and when they come back, Bret is hurt in the ring. He's still down. Bulldog and Owen are also there, and they're super concerned. Apparently, Shawn Michaels has left him alone.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon. Like he chased him off into the crowd. They got back into a hallway with 3 doors on either side of the hallway, and then they went into one, and he followed them. But then they came out of another one from the other side of the hallway, and
They went to a different door.
They
Yeah,
just kept crisscrossing like Scooby Doo or any other Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
that's exactly what happened. And then somehow they all bumped into each other, and Shawn Michaels stayed down, and they got away and got to the ring.
Yeah. At some point, a door opens, and Shawn comes running out, and Bulldog and Owen are chasing him. And they all freeze in the hallway for a second, shrug, and turn around and
Yeah.
go the other way.
We've all seen it. That's awesome. They do show moments ago where Bret is in the corner and does give the birds, and he actually says, "Fuck you."
Oh, shit, I didn't catch that.
You can see him mouth it, and he just goes, "Fuck
That's
you."
awesome.
It's great.
I was running a little bit late for this episode, so anytime it was a recap, I skipped it.
Oh, no, that was a good golden one. But just before that, they were calling for a medic to come down and help Bret. And the medic is Rick Rude Jr., apparently.
Oh, shit. The guy who comes out with the gloves? Oh,
Yeah, he's not really. He just has a fucking mustache.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I bet.
No relation. Just he comes out and I'm like, "As fuck, is that Rick Rude?"
I'm thinking to myself, like, I didn't know Rick Rude had kids. He probably does.
Probably. Yeah, really good stuff between Bret and Austin on this show. Really good.
Believe you me, if you wanted more of this Bret shit, it ain't over.
It's coming back. So, Gorilla Monsoon is backstage with Austin. He says, "You're out of control." And he says, "You're out of here." He kicks Austin out of the building. Austin says, "No one talks to me like that," and then leaves.
They have their argument 5 foot from the open door.
Yeah. It's a good little bit. Austin gets all up in the face of Gorilla, who is clearly much larger.
Much.
Both in weight and height for Austin, because he has to get up on his toes to get to his face.
You damn right, and I ain't through yet. We have rules and regulations here, and you've broken every one of them. You're damn right, because I don't care about them. Well, what are you going to do about it? I want you to get your ass out of this building right now. Nobody talk to me like that. Get some don't talk to me like that. I'll whip your ass, dude. I want you out of here. Don't you get out. I'd rather get out. I'm cutting you a damn break.
Which I'll say this off top. I love this. Fantastic segment.
Yeah. Great.
But, again, it's no fault of Austin or Gorilla, but going back to why was that match over, I have to ask, how was he out of control? What rules did he break?
No, none. He just held him to sharpshooter for a long time.
It was a street fight that got thrown out for a wrestling move. You know what it is? I got it. I just figured it out. It hit a time. Basically, it's like a Broadway. It's like a time limit draw because neither competitor within TV time used a kitchen sink.
But no, this wasn't a Chicago street fight, Brian.
Oh, shit. Okay.
This is a Binghamton street fight.
Binghamton street fights have rules.
They don't have kitchen sinks here in Binghamton.
Or kitchens or bathrooms. Binghamton's all outhouses.
Do we say that? And it's probably better than both of our cities.
100%.
I say city, but I live in rural stretch of nowhere.
I live in a town that barely has a population to call itself a city.
There you go. We do see Owen and Bulldog taking Bret to the back. They put him on a gurney, and then Bulldog and Owen immediately pull him off of the gurney and make him limp back.
Oh, Jesus. It's my leg, goddammit. Like, Bret, they're tending to your leg. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah. And that's the end of the first hour of Raw is War. So you know what that means.
Rumors?
It's time for rumors.
Ooh.
This week, Brian, I got 3 good ones and 3 short ones. So a little more, but the short ones are pretty short. So, rumor number 1. Let's talk about Sid.
Ooh. Sudden infant death syndrome?
No. Softball Sid, Brian.
Back to the well. I'm sorry.
The story on Softball Sid is that he is supposedly has a herniated disc in his back caused by straining his back while working out at the gym. Apparently, he left a message at the office over the weekend, but since no one was there and Raw was taped on a Sunday this week, nobody knew. And he didn't think to call the building and let anyone know he was hurt. So at Raw, it was legitimately last week when Austin filled in.
Okay. But hold on, time out. So that is saying that last Monday night,
Yep.
which would be the split show.
Correct. When Austin had to save the show for Gorilla Monsoon.
Okay. All right.
And Wrestle Mankind.
That's right. That one was taped. Okay. All right. Yeah. They tried to play us like it was live.
Yeah.
The following week with the South Africa thing, but the original OG, where that we know that.
Either that or it was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, folks.
Yeah.
We're drinking. Either way, you remember where Sid was supposed to face Mankind. Austin got in the match because he had to save the day for Gorilla, and he got his pay-per-view match with Bret.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense though. I mean, that checks out.
So legitimately, Sid wasn't known where he was. There is no word on how long he will be gone, but he has made contact with the office, and there's a lot of skepticism about the injury. It's apparently people seem to be following the Shawn Michaels lead.
So, given his affinity for softball, I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on here. It's spring training.
That's exactly what it is. So he was definitely supposed to put over Bret Hart at the pay-per-view. So they had to do a rematch from WrestleMania instead with Austin. Rumor number 2. That's Psycho Sid. We don't know when he's coming back, what's going to happen, so on and so forth.
But we do know via early email, he's writing these shows.
Yes, he's writing in via fax machine.
Yes. Sid wrote it.
In crayon.
Fucking fax it. he's gotta get a new fax machine like every 3 weeks because the extra
jams up.
The extra residue of the wax from the heavy-handed crayon is fucking jamming up the machine.
That's right. Oh man,
folks, there is a t-shirt up on the website right now, atomicdropcast.com. Sid wrote it. I'm going to do a remix to it, and it's going to be Sid wrote it, same shirt, but in crayon.
Good. I can't wait for that one. Rumor number 2. Siochi Funaki, and I probably just murdered that name.
At least the first part.
Yeah. Who is a Battle Arts wrestler, also works for Michinoku Pro, retained his UWA Mexican heavyweight title.
What?
On 4/15 in Osaka. Anyway,
wait. Oh.
I give you all of this. This was a Mexican clip of a Japanese wrestler who's wrestling in Mexico.
But in Osaka, that's in Japan.
It is. He retained his Mexican title in Japan.
Okay, so Japanese retaining his Mexican title in Japan.
Yep. All of that said, this is the man we will come to know as Funaki. It's an early Funaki. I loved it. I popped first time I saw his name in Wrestling Observer doing these rumors.
I ended up with the other. I forget the wrestling cast, but chop.
That's right. Choppy my pee-pee.
Yep. The point where in WWF, I thought, you know what? I might have to stop watching this garbage.
Indeed.
Damn.
Next rumor is Marlena was off television recently because apparently she's undergone surgery.
Ooh, boob job?
I don't know. No word on what the surgery is.
Ass implants.
And the third quick rumor, Despite rumors that Disco Inferno is putting out, Titan sources claim there's been no talk with him whatsoever.
All right, the Marlena one I call slight bullshit because she's only gone for like 2, maybe 3 weeks. There's no time to recover from real surgery. She's on this show. But yeah, that one right there, the Disco.
We'll be putting out rumors that he's being contacted by WWF.
Yeah, man, fuck Disco Inferno. Man, he was shit then, he's shit now. Fuck Disco Inferno. Come at me, bro.
I'm with you. Have you ever seen his shoot interviews on WCW stuff?
I hear about people talking, in chats or whatever, people talking about it. I'm like, yo, why are you?
It's amazing.
Why are you talking about anything Disco has to say?
Because he wants wrestlers to be Martians.
Disco was a shit wrestler with a shit gimmick.
So that's the three quick rumors. We covered Sid. That was one of the larger ones. Here we go with Tiger Ali Singh.
Ooh.
He debuted on the tour. He won the second annual Kuwaiti Cup. He beat.
Did he?
Apparently.
Was it Ahmed was Kuwaiti, right?
Yeah, he was the first.
Hold up. That's happened like not long since we've started this. So how the fuck
it's every time they go to Kuwait, they have a cup.
So at this point, it's the biannual Kuwaiti Cup.
That's right. So he beat Leif Cassidy, Billy Gunn, Mankind, and Owen Hart in the finals. Singh is said to have been very green and out of shape. Despite the huge push on this tour, there are no plans to use him in the United States.
That's very clear on this card.
Yeah. Yes. The idea was to use him as an Arab babyface for tours in Kuwait, Pakistan, India, and other parts of the world, although Singh hasn't really gotten over even with those crowds.
Well, remember, not that long ago, probably either in between Royal Rumble and the following In Your House, or maybe, it had to have been, or maybe right after that first In Your House we did, we got the little signing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was Monday Night Raw in the Toronto Sky Dome, and
Disco Inferno was there,
sucking off Russo in the back. But yeah, the dude's done nothing. Like he was like the great Canadian / Indian hype.
Yeah,
and then we saw nothing until now.
Nothing at all.
That's like episode maybe 6 for us, and we're on 19.
Yeah. It's quite a while ago, but he's done nothing. He hasn't shown up. He hasn't wrestled on TV yet. Well, we'll get there.
Well, I'll say this for what you just said. You are correct in he's done nothing.
Yes, that's correct. The final rumor: the sound mixing back on the 414 Raw, or 204, as you people know it. 205.
Okay, so South Africa.
No. Correct.
Yeah.
The sound mixing on 414 Raw was worse than the darkest days of WCW. It's weird how Raw was so state of the art to where commentary done live at the building and later in studio was mixed to where nobody knew the difference. The difference in sound from the commentary done in South Africa by Jim Ross and the Honky Tonk Man and the sound from the studio when it was revoiced over was noticeable and came off clumsy and like amateur production. And that's why I assume we didn't hear most of it.
And this is coming from The Observer, right?
Yes, at the time. I'm telling you, I think they cut most of that shit out.
I agree the sound mixing was garbage and should have been leagues better than what we got to hear. I can't agree that what was cut out was because it was bad for the network.
No. I think there was technical difficulties as well, but I think they could have played a lot of it, and they just chose not to include it at all. So that's it for rumors this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the timekeeper has just informed me that this episode has come to a time limit draw. This episode is approaching an hour already, and we haven't even hit the Warzone yet. So that being the case, next week, Raw 206, episode 19.2, and we'll finish off with Warzone. And of course, the following week will be episode 20. You ask, why are we screwing with the numbers? Well, episode 20 is already recorded. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode or any others, make sure you head on over to atomicdropcast.com, click on subscribe. It'll show you any which way, every way possible for you to subscribe, listen, and or download the Atomic Dropcast, including the website itself, atomicdropcast.com. But if you prefer iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, pretty much anything but Spotify, we're working on it. You can get it right there. It'll tell you how to do it. It'll set you up nice and lovely. And while you're there, make sure you click on the Atomic Drop Shop and check out the t-shirts we got going on over there in conjunction with Spreadshirt. Usually per episode, there is 1 to 2 t-shirts that go up. Gyms like Freddy Joe Jiu-Jitsu. Sid wrote it. And coming soon, the Sid wrote it in crayon. I'm not sure if that shirt's going to say Sid wrote it in crayon or if it's just going to be Sid wrote it, but like in crayon. We'll figure that one out. But anyway, for Brian, I'm Brian. So for Mikey, I'm Brian. Drop some knees on some asses.